All right. The time is 5:30. I'm going to call the meeting to order, and we're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Flag is in the back of the room. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we're going to move to item B, which is a very exciting moment for the school. We are going to swear in our new superintendent, Dr. Joseph Lloyd. You could stand up and raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Joseph Lloyd,
I, Joseph Lloyd,
do solemnly pledge and declare
do solemnly pledge and declare
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of the Board of Education, the duties of the office of Superintendent according to the best of my ability.
the duties of the office of the superintendent according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Diamond.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you so
Welcome.
much.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
All right, we're going to move to correspondence, which we have one piece of correspondence. It's exciting. We don't get a lot of correspondence here. This is a letter from Ferreira and Ferienza Law Firm, signed by Susan Johns. On behalf of Ferreira and Ferienza, please extend our thanks and appreciation to the Board of Ed for reappointing our firm as its legal representative for 26-27 school year. They are one of our alternate legal services. We are pleased to continue to be of service to you and your Board of Ed and appreciate your support and confidence in our firm's ability to provide professional counsel and representation. Very nice. Very nice letter. Okay. Then we have item 3, which is public comment session for items that are on tonight's agenda. I don't think we have any tonight, which brings us to a very exciting presentation about the cross-country trip to California, led by Tyler Eckhoff and Skylar Musa. Don't be shy.
So, hello, I'm Tyler Eckhoff. I am the boys' head cross-country coach, and this is Skylar Musa, the girls' head cross-country coach. And behind us, we have the boys and girls cross-country teams. They are here just for support, and they will chime in at the end here because we do have a fundraiser coming up. But we are doing this presentation about our trip to California. There's a select few prestigious meets in the United States in September and October for cross country, and one of them is the Woodbridge Classic in Irvine, California. For those of you that are familiar with the program, our program has a tremendous history with the Ayatoros, with winning state championships. If you look at Tri-Valley State Championships, we'll get to this, but sorry, I'm going off the cuff here. But there's a great history of state titles, of national champions, and so we like to get our kids to the best competition. And they need to see, especially in a small rural district, that there's bigger fish out there, and that, you know, instead of just being a big fish in a small pond, we need to take them where there's competition so they could rise to it.
The competition, like Coach Eckhoff said, the A6 Woodbridge Invitational is one of the most competitive regular season cross-country races on the West Coast and one of the top 4 competitive in the country. So a few years ago, under Coach Furman, we took the team down to the Great American Invitational in North Carolina, that being one of the 4. Last year, Tyler and I took this group to the Desert Twilight Invitational in Mesa, Arizona. And this year, by the request of some of our athletes, we want to go out to California now. exposure to promote the up-and-coming team on the national stage. This is really important. The girls' team, as I think probably most of you know, won a team championship last year, and we're returning not only with every athlete but one, but a much stronger and deeper team this year. And lastly is to learn. In my own personal life, I've been really fortunate to travel a lot, and I feel like travel is often the best educator. I think you have to learn a lot of resilience, a lot of patience, as I actually misspelt on this slideshow. I'm not a very good speller. But it does.
Corrected.
But it does teach you a lot of patience. You have to learn how to be responsible for yourself, for the people you're traveling with, and to really give you a good perspective on different cultures. I think it's really easy to think the way that you live is the way to live. And so I think taking these kids to go somewhere else is a really great opportunity.
In terms of the financials of this trip, provided to all athletes through the Never Sink Track Booster Club will be flights, lodging, transportation, and all meals. If athletes would like souvenirs from the race, they can bring their own cash. If they want to buy additional food at places, they can do that. The only expense that we kind of factored in is we were thinking of going to Disneyland, which those of you that remember the Ayatorals, they would always take when they would go out to California to the Mount SAC, invite the kids to Disneyland. And so we'd like to go to Disneyland. It's about $104 per person. We are asking if parents can donate that for their kid to go, and if they can't, then the Booster Club will cover it. And no athlete will be left because of finances from going to Disneyland. Our Booster Club has a fish and chips fundraiser that is going on next Wednesday. So if anyone up here, I think Lorenzo is going to talk to you at the end, if you're interested in purchasing a fish dinner or a chicken dinner, you can. It's from a food truck called Tastefully British. And the Boy Scouts used to do this fish and chips dinner for many years. I think they stopped about 3 years ago, and a lot of people in town have been asking about the dinner coming back. And so you can buy tickets. That's how we're fundraising for this, but also for the Booster Club in general, because we pay for many different things for our track and field and cross-country programs. We do request 2 expenses from the school. One is busing to the airport and a bus to pick us up when we come back on the 20th of September. And then the other expense would be the meet entry cost, which is $280. Now, normally, if we're not doing this big trip, we'd be going to another meet that weekend, and the entry would be a similar price. And so that's what we request of the district.
Our itinerary, we would be planning to leave on Wednesday, September 16th, and coming home on Sunday, September 20th. The race is in Irvine, California. It's about a 15-minute drive from the houses that we'll be staying at. We're going to spend a day at Disneyland and then a day exploring Newport Beach Pier. And then lastly, we'll be doing a self-tour of the University of Southern California.
In terms of program travel, cross-country and track and field here at Tri-Valley, we've traveled numerous times. Again, Ms. Musa mentioned some of the trips to North Carolina 3 years ago, last year to Arizona. Before we were coaches here, the Ayatoros took kids to Hawaii, to the Mount SAC Invitational, to Colorado Springs. We take kids every year to Penn Relays, to different national championships. So we are well-versed in taking teams out of Grahamsville, New York. Also, for those of you that want to know, we have done this not just here. We used to coach at T.C. Williams, the school that's known for Remember the Titans, and we used to take our track programs actually up here for a summer cross-country camp where they were very much city kids living basically in D.C., and coming up here was like the greatest experience ever. And so we would train in the mountains and then go back down to Northern Virginia.
And lastly, just to really emphasize why we're doing this, Tyler and I, when we were at TC, we coached with a really legendary coach. He worked at the University of Tennessee before coming back to TC. And he used to kind of argue with kids like, I'm not going to take you places if you can't beat the kids in your own backyard. These kids have beat the kids in their own backyard, and then the next backyard, and the backyard after that. So we need to go find a really big backyard, which is what we'd like to do. I think in everything where you invest, you get a lot of reward for that. When you invest in people, they do really well. When you invest in sports and young athletes, they step up when you really want them to. Last year was the first time in 26 years that the boys cross country team and the girls cross country team won Section 9 together. 1999 was the last time that happened, and none of them were alive, which makes me feel old. The girls cross country team, out of the 9 state team titles that Tri-Valley owns, 6 of them are girls cross country, which is more than half. It's a lot. 2 are boys cross country. So our cross country program is very serious. We do allow the kids to have fun, but we are very serious. Anna Furman is up here. She's the 2-time New York State Class D defending champion. We expect her to be a 3-time class champion this year. Maria Gelsomino finished in the top 20. The girls team specifically has some really lofty goals this year. Last year, the girls team were division champions, Section 9 champions, and state champions. Like we've really harped on, we have some big goals for the season. We hope we accomplish them, and if we don't, we will all move on and be happy. But the best chance we have to accomplish those goals is to give these kids the best opportunity, and they have to race better people than them to be better. So thank you.
And I know we talked about the girls program because they are an excellent program and they are chasing big goals. But our boys program, they've won 2 titles in the past 5 years. They've won 4 section championships out of the past 5 years. And this year, all the athletes return, and we have some additions, and we would like to win a state title. And so our boys will be pushing for a state title as well, hopefully. These are just some photos of different times where the Tri-Valley Cross Country program and track and field program has traveled. I think the most recent one is in the upper middle, which is NC State, and it's the All-American Cross Country course there. I think we might even have some familiar faces there, right?
And then this is from our trip last year to Arizona. And then these are just some race photos from last year. Before we finish up here, does anyone have questions for us or about the trip?
I have one question, actually a couple questions and then a comment. First, how many kids are going?
We're taking, so in cross country, you can have as many kids on the cross country team as you want. At a championship race, you can only race 7 athletes. So it's called your varsity 7. So we'll be taking a varsity 7 for the girls team and a varsity 7 for the boys team.
Okay. And have we looked into the cost of the busing down and back? I have. All right. I love the idea. I think it's a great idea. If you look back at that, one of those pictures in the bottom right, there's a Tim Diamond in that picture. That was the Hawaii trip. It was an outstanding trip. I don't know if the Ayatoras would want to bring us back, but we had a blast. But yeah, I think it's great. I think it's great the commitment you guys have to the athletes and the athletes have to the sport. And I also love the outside fundraising. It just shows how much interest you all have in this. So, anybody else?
If I may, the quality of the track program here at Tri-Valley is well above anything that anybody could ever expect here at Tri-Valley. It's been great forever, and it's no different this year. And that goes because of the quality kids we have and the quality coaching we have. So I recognize that. But the thing that I'm concerned about in this world today, the crazy world, as always, I don't care what child it is, it could be here or anywhere, is our safety of our children, our safety of our athletes. So how many chaperones?
There will be 3 chaperones.
How many?
3.
Do you feel that's enough?
I do. Yeah, I mean, and Tyler and I, like we've said, we've done trips like this before. We've traveled many times with lots of kids. We often are at track meets with way more kids than this, especially at track meets. We take kids down into New York City, I know for indoor all the time, and there are way more kids than coaches. And I will say, Travis Wolf is an assistant coach. He's complete volunteer. So he's doing this just out of, he wants the program to do well. I can speak for, this is a little different because we'll be staying in Airbnbs, and that is also for a safety factor. If we're all in one house, all of the houses have external security cameras. It's much easier to keep tabs on the kids. When we take trips with kids and we stay in hotels, every hotel room is taped at night. No kid is getting out under our watch. We are 100% responsible for these kids at all times. So I understand your concern, but we can't live in fear, and we can't be afraid to travel because, otherwise we're never going to improve,
And just to go on that, I know like when we take a field trip as teachers in the school here, the chaperone ratio, you need to have a chaperone per 10 students. And so we meet that requirement and then some. Also, we would not take this trip if we didn't have the caliber of young men and ladies up here that we do. If there was anyone that we did not trust to be doing the right thing up here, they would not be going on this trip. And so this is, this is a great experience for them, and they understand that and appreciate that as well. And so we have faith in our team, in our coaches, and the kind of the processes that we set to ensure their safety.
Please, I was not alluding to
No.
our kids. We got great kids here, scholar athletes. I'm more concerned about what's out there.
I think George wants to go, basically. If you're looking for a fourth.
I think it's amazing what you guys are able to do with the money you've raised from your booster club. And I hope lots of people have purchased fish and chips tickets. I've bought 2, but I think I'll buy 2 more.
Thank you. Lauren, do you want to come just talk quickly about fundraising?
Hello, everyone. My name is Lorenzo Hafner. I'm a senior this year. This is my 4th year of cross country. I'm going to explain our fundraiser because as nice as it would be, money doesn't appear out of thin air. So what we've done this year is we are selling fish and chip dinners. It takes place on Wednesday, September 2nd at the fairgrounds. And so what we've been doing is the coaches have given us these cards, and we've been the last couple of days after practice, and then the whole last month or so, we've been going around to adults, coaches, teachers, asking them if they'd like to buy a fish and chip dinner. Each dinner costs $22. And it comes with, it's either chicken and chips or fish and chips, depending on your preference. The chicken is fried, and so is fish. But it also comes with coleslaw and a dessert. And yeah, if you want to, if anyone in here plans on being hungry on Wednesday, this is what you want for dinner. Because I'm going to be hungry on Wednesday. I bought one. I'm hungry every day. Come pick it up. They're serving it from 5 to 7 p.m. Like I said, at the fairgrounds, Wednesday, September 2nd.
And Lorenzo, can they eat there if they want, or do they have to get it?
Yeah, you can eat there if you want. No, you can't.
You can't eat there.
You could have a picnic maybe.
If you really wanted to, you probably could. But I guess it's not promoted. Sorry, I forgot that one. Yeah, it's a pickup. You buy your food, you pick it up there, enjoy it in the comfort of your own home.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you.
You're good. Thank you very much for your time. If you do have questions, you could reach out to Tyler and I, but we do really appreciate the school support. This is a really great opportunity. The kids will do very well. They will be well taken care of, and we really appreciate your guys' support. Thank you.
I like it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can we talk about this a little bit more? With our financial situation being what it is today, what's our legal responsibility? Can this be done?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a very small expense that they're asking for the,
And I know I didn't get through this book. I just got it yesterday, and a lot of them aren't here today, the board members. So in this, is there anything in there that spells out that it cannot be done or it can be done? Because other groups are going to be asking this. So my question is, does it go along with what we're doing now? What's in this book?
Well, I mean, George, we don't have another group in the school that's put this kind of fundraising effort into a trip. I mean, they're covering over 90% of the cost. I mean, if every group in the school did this kind of fundraising, it would put us in a.
No, I understand all that. I'm asking the legal responsibility of the district. That's all I'm asking.
I think typically we've always provided busing to everyone, right, for events like this?
I think so.
I don't have a problem with it. I'm asking that financially, that's all I'm asking.
I think that the number is very reasonable, and we can vote it out if it makes you feel more comfortable. We can vote it out.
We don't have to vote on this, right?
I don't think we do.
No. So they're really on their own then. They're not our responsibility, correct? Because that's what's happened before. There's a group that's coming from Tri-Valley that's we're not responsible for, correct?
Well, they're Tri-Valley students, and they're on a Tri-Valley school trip.
Is it sanctioned as a trip? Tri-Valley sponsored trip?
We'll get in the weeds now.
No, really? I'm serious about this.
So it is a sanctioned track and field meet by New York State, by our athletic association. And so we are traveling as Tri-Valley, it's not track and field meet, cross-country meet. We're traveling as Tri-Valley cross-country. Yeah, so it is a school trip. It's an athletic competition that we are traveling as Tri-Valley cross-country.
Even though it's out of state?
Yes, it is sanctioned. If you go on the, how do you pronounce the acronym? The NYSPHSA, NISPA. If you go on their website and you look at their sanctioning, you will see the Woodbridge Classic is on there as a sanctioned meet for New York State. Yes, and just like last year, the Arizona meet was sanctioned through New York State, so New York State schools can compete in this meet.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not looking, I'm just making sure that our kids are taken care of.
Yep, 100%.
That's my biggest concern. That's all I care
It's
about.
better to ask questions than to just
Ahead of
nod
time.
heads, right? Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. Any other questions?
Thank you.
There may be more that come up if you want to hang around. Should be here for a couple hours.
Tickets? Tickets.
Yeah.
We're going to need tickets.
Okay.
Well, at some point, I mean, after the meeting.
Okay.
Well,
We'll get in touch with you guys.
yes, I'll get in touch.
Probably not going to stay with you.
I know where you are.
We do live in the community.
All right, let's keep rolling. We got a long night ahead of us.
Yeah.
Admin presentations are up next.
Good evening, everyone. Am I on? It's always thrilling to follow students when we want to talk about what I usually have to talk about, data and numbers. So it's great what our Tri-Valley track and field team do, what our cross-country team does. So anything we can do to help support them, that'd be fantastic. I just want to be the chaperone for Hawaii next time they go. So it's hard to believe summer's over. We're already starting. We're back up here. So we're going to jump right into kind of what our grants look like, where we're going next year for our title grants. So there was some talk in the early spring that these may be reduced by over 26% across the state. We did not have that happen to us, but we did see a reduction, especially in our Title I. 4 years ago, we were almost $400,000. We're down to about $250,000. Those grants is what we were using to supplement and pay for our AIS support, our AIS teachers. So we can't get rid of those supports. So those costs, when the money goes away, let's come back to our general fund. So Title I is our AIS teachers and the required McKinney-Vento allocation, which is just under $5,000. But this year, it's going to support our elementary school and our secondary school AIS program to help support our kids, particularly in reading and math. Title II has really remained pretty steady over the years. That's where we get all our professional development money. It helps get us coordinators. So we will have our new teachers here tomorrow. Our mentor coordinators helped to set all that up. We did teacher leader training just here yesterday on data-driven instructions and PLC models. It will be bringing in an ELA consultant for multiple trainings throughout the year to really work on the writing revolution. That's a program that's not typing. It's literally writing, and then you learn to transfer it. It's very systematic. It is not just an ELA program. It's ELA, science, math, social studies. It's one of those programs that branches the whole continuum. And then we had our Ready Math pilot last year, and now we're doing Ready Math K to 7 now, and that's going to bring in some trainers to help our year 2 people and also our initial programs with all our odd number math classes. After school STEAM program, this is one of our areas where we've seen a decrease, almost $12,000 over the last 4 years. It doesn't sound like a lot, but that does make us have to get a lot more creative with what sessions we can run, particularly in the elementary school session. Instead of 10 weeks, is it 7 weeks? Then is it going to be more of a 4 or 5 week piece? We really have to work with our staff and what kind of programs they can run. We also buy what's called Pathful for our CDOS pathway. So that is a high school graduation pathway for some of our students. And then that's also offsetting one of the ES counselors. A partial piece of her salary is used in that one. The rest of her salary is in the 611 grant. But as these pieces get whittled down, it's making it more and more difficult for us to continue to provide the level of opportunities for our kids. Our team has been great. The teachers have been great in working through these numbers, but it's just a reality. As you can see, as the years have gone on, we do have a decrease that we really have to start looking at. What are we going to do if this trend continues in the next 2 or 3 years? Any questions?
Yeah. So this loss of grant money that you mentioned for STEAM programs, is that why we didn't have a summer program this year?
So different ways. 2 years ago, summer was through the ESSER funding money. So that supplemented the summer programming. Last year, they had not used any of their rollover Title IV money. For whatever reason, they had let it build up to almost $50,000. So we used all of that money to then offset summer program last year, because we do have to provide busing to make sure kids can come here that wouldn't have a ride. And then this year was pitched to be in the budget, but as you know, with the budgetary constraints, we were not able to add about $100,000 ticket item. We were only able to keep about $50,000 of that, so we could do the BOCES High School Credit Recovery Program. So we're really $50,000 to $60,000 short to run a summer program for our kids for enrichment.
Okay, so there was only something for high schoolers, nothing for...
Right.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. So I'm going to give you a little update on the PPS office. This summer, we've submitted 4 of our VR reports and our PD report to the state. So basically, we review all the data with the data coordinator, Brianna Commando, make sure everything is correct, and then submit to the state. We have 3 more reports due on September 19th. September 14th. So we're in the same process right now. We just have one student that has to roll to the right type of plan that they have, and then we can go ahead and submit that. And then some of the other things that we've been working on in the office is updating all of the teacher case manager manual, sharing out all of the case manager lists, redoing the IEPs so that all of the providers are listed on them, and sharing the IEPs with the case managers so they can take a look at them prior to the start of school if they want to. Updating the PPS handbook, reviewing some procedures that we put in place last year with the administrative team just to make sure that they are working, they worked well. So we're reflecting on those so that we can put them back in place this year, or make some minor tweaks and changes if we need to. And all of the DASA forms have been updated and are again located throughout the building. So those are some of the major things we've been working on in our office. Any questions?
Do you find the finances you needed this year are more or less than the past year?
The 611 and 619 grant have been basically pretty much the same. We have not lost that any significant amount of money at all. We too, in the past, have realized there were some rollover funds, but we did use a lot of those last year. Mr. Snyder and I worked together to get some things in programming supplemented with some of that and some room updates that were needed. We used some of it to update some of our Pearson materials that the psychologists, the related service providers use to do testing for the students, things like that. So ours has basically been staying the same, our grants.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Thank you.
All righty. Next.
And welcome back, everybody, for the 26-27 school year. We were able to launch our new school year with what is Tri-Valley's now tradition of a back-to-school event. We hosted our Summer Bear Bash earlier this month. That Bear Bash this year was a unique experience. In fact, we were able to make it happen due to a Sullivan County Youth Bureau grant that we were awarded. So I was talking about that towards the end of last school year. We applied and were awarded a $3,500 grant, which was the way that we were able to finance our event this school year, along with many donations that were also contributed by some of our community partners. What you see there are just a few of the community partners that helped it be such a success. I would be remiss if I did not thank Ms. Hugler. She was a huge part of this as a section of our community liaison department. And of course, all of our staff that were able to be there that day. We had 345 visitors that day. That did not include our community supporters who joined us, as well as all the other volunteers. We had student volunteers, including our student workers. And I've got to tell you, with the student workers who were here, all the departments that they work with, the heads of their departments, those that were supervising the students over the summer, were very willing to give them up to me. They were able to move all the materials from this side of the street across the street. We had students who were drafting thank you letters. We had students who created a lot of the signs that were hung around at the field for our Summer Bear Bash. So it is not an independent, it's not a one-person show. It is truly a community event, and it was really very successful. All of our thank you letters went out. We actually this year had to start a Tri-Valley Community Events email separate from our regular email, so that correspondence that was coming in from community partners who had questions or wanted to ensure that they were prepared for our event. So we had a whole separate email. This year, for this Summer Bear Bash, we also had additional community partners that wanted to join us for our Summer Bear Bash. So that was very exciting. Certainly the word has gotten out. And I would just like to say we were even under budget. So we had that $3,500 to spend. And with all the contributions and everything, we were able to stay under that amount of money. So it was a great success. We've got some pictures there. We had some leftovers. So the student workers were able to have their own separate barbecue that included the leftover hot dogs as well as the ice cream that was donated. And that was a huge hit, if you can imagine. So I just wanted to thank everybody for their support of our Summer Bear Bash. We're looking forward to our Winter Bear Bash, maybe. But I do appreciate all of the community support. It was a great success.
Awesome. All right. Anybody? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I just wanted to give you a quick update on what we were working on within the tech department over the summer. So the first area here is security and systems upgrades. I think one of the big advances for us is we're moving to a new phishing training system. Of course, phishing being fake emails, that type of thing, one of the biggest avenues that cyber hackers use to get into schools and compromise them. So it's really, really important that our staff know how to spot the signs of phishing and recognize them and not fall for those types of tricks. This new program is really K-12 focused. So the types of emails that they receive are much more representative of the types of attacks that they would see. It's also leveled, which is I absolutely love. So it starts off easy, and as they succeed, it gets progressively more difficult. So no matter where any individual staff member is, it kind of meets them there and continues to help them grow in their own cybersecurity knowledge. One of the other major differences with this new program is that it utilizes micro training. So if somebody does receive a test phishing message and they fail to recognize the signs, they click a link in that fake message or open up an attachment, they receive an immediate short little training on the signs that they should have recognized within that, and it helps them grow off of what they just failed on. And I think it's going to be much more effective, and there's some other nice little things in there that I think a lot of our staff members are actually going to enjoy it, as opposed to some of the previous programs. The next item is the phone system. We are in early phases on this, but we're hoping to be complete on this project probably over winter break. And this will move us from our legacy phone system to a more modern system that's going to be supported long-term. And we'll also bring some new kind of bells and whistles once we're fully live with that. The next section is system updates. Of course, there's always critical updates that we really don't want to apply during the school year that can bring downtime, and general system improvements that we work on during the summer. Inventory updates, our staff and the student workers go through room by room and update our inventory so we know exactly what's in each room. We make sure that the equipment we expect to be there is there. And that's also important from a disaster recovery standpoint, because when on the disaster recovery side of things, if we ever suffered a catastrophic disaster here, this is the document that is then passed immediately to insurance company so that we can immediately begin purchasing to get us back up and live with instruction as quickly as possible. The other section that we really focus on involves student and support highlights, and the big one there is Chromebook repairs and updates. Of course, we collect all of the Chromebooks from the students, from the high school students at the end of the school year. We update those, any repairs that need to happen, we do those. We pull the Chromebooks from the carts in the elementary, any of them that need repairs, that happens, and it allows us to really make sure that we're making the most out of what we spend there, so that we don't have Chromebooks that are broken, can't be used, sitting on a shelf somewhere, and we get those back in live. We actually, two of our student workers were really, really focused on that this summer and actually set a new record. They repaired and brought back from the dead 31 Chromebooks in a single day, which even for those of us working full-time in IT, that's impressive. So I just wanted to give a little kudos where it was deserved there. The last item is Bear Pass, and that is our e-hall pass solution that, again, was internally developed. Solutions, I want to say, run in the neighborhood of $15,000 to $20,000 on the market that other schools are putting in place. We did that all in-house. Our tech staff really took that on hand, building our own solution that's tailored to exactly the way we want it to operate, and we're looking to roll out with that mid-fall after we do trainings for both the staff and students on how to use it. Any question?
I have one question. Actually, two questions. One, the phishing trainings and security trainings for staff, do we do something like that for students as well?
So that's one of the other reasons that we moved to this system, is this gives us a certain number of student accounts for free. So at the very least this year, I'm going to be able to provide the same trainings for I believe our seniors and juniors. And I have to look back at the final deal that we worked out. I was trying to finagle a couple of things, and I believe I'm actually going to be able to cover 7 through 12, but I just have to double verify that. So
that's fantastic. And then the other question I had, do we still give graduating seniors the option to purchase their Chromebook?
Yes, we do.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Any other questions?
Thank you
very much.
Great. Good evening, everyone. Summer is almost over, and I think it's been nice having our students back on campus. I think the student workers were over our questions and haggling. So now that we have more on campus, it's been fun to see them kind of come back to life and excited to come back to school. At least that's what they say. So we're excited to have them back, and we've made a lot of changes over the summer, some workings behind the scenes that we're really hopeful are going to bring great opportunities for our students and our staff to really give them the ability to work alongside of them. So some things that are changing for this school year, we have an advisory lab that you've probably heard us talking about that is coming to fruition. This has been about 2 years in the works, and we're finally taking that step. So this is called an advisory lab, 5A, 5B. We've done a lot of work on programming and looking for the appropriate programming to make this happen. This has been a dream of incorporating within the schedules. This has been something that staff have really opened and welcomed and are excited about, and this is something that we're finally able to make happen. So what this is it's an advisory lab. We have blocked an hour in midday of every single 7 through 12 student. There is some caveats around some BOCES students that will be leaving our building to go to CTE programming, but it provides an hour block where we will have it divided into half of the school going to their lunch, getting their food, and being able to participate in programs if they want to, or pausing, taking their full half hour and relaxing through their lunchtime, while the other half of the school is incorporated in all of these extra funding and programs that we'll have. So we'll have academic supports, we'll have intervention periods, we'll be able to give some one-on-ones for students, we'll be able to host meetings that are needed, study sessions that are available. We'll have timely academic assistance. If students have to leave at the end of the day for sports, or if they're absent, they're able to meet with that teacher that they missed that opportunity within class, and they're able to meet with them again, review what they missed, and be able to have more of that one-on-one experience with them. It's creating more opportunities for students to explore options. It's allowing our staff to hone in on interests and activities that they might do that they might not be able to get to throughout their day, that they're now able to bring in and really kind of create some more opportunities for students to explore different pathways, some different opportunities that they wouldn't have had time for. We pride ourselves on our sports and our things that we provide after school, and a lot of our students are taking up their time for that and aren't able to participate in some of our Regents reviews and our SAT preps, and we recognize that, and we wanted to give them an opportunity during the day to access those areas. So this is really giving continuity to all of our students to experience everything that we have to offer, and really give that individualized support and those preps for our students, as well as enrichments. It allows them to build upon their skills. It allows to build on those enrichments in those areas where, they can explore and they can move forward and move further in their academics, as well as providing opportunities for some clubs and enrollments there to be able to give them an experience during the school day where they might not have been able to after school because they have family mandates that they need to get home for and things like that. So this is really expanding our continuity. It's providing support, it's providing enrichment, and it's really allowing us to re-engage our students and giving them something they are excited about and looking forward to in that midday. There's a lot of pieces behind the scenes on this. We've worked really hard to clarify those pieces. Our administration team was trained. We've incorporated some of our main components in that as well and trained them. Our counselors behind the scenes have been trained, and we've really started this initiative at the end of last year with our staff, kind of introducing what this is. And then we will be providing that training during those superintendent conference days to further develop our staff in the programming that is behind the scenes. We've had some staff kind of already working in there, and we've really set them up for success. And we're going to jump right into it, and we're really excited about this opportunity. The other piece that we have switching, and we are slowly transitioning this in, is our counseling model. So most school districts move into an alphabetical caseload model when they're looking at their counselors. It really provides, again, that continuity for families. It improves communication. It really allows those counselors to focus on those pathways and their post-secondary goals. So to really allow the counselor to tap into that student right away when they enter into the high school realm and they start looking at what are we going to do with you and where are we going to transition after school, and now they can build on them for 4 years straight. So this counseling model is a great model, and there's a lot of success around it. So we are going to slowly transition that with our families. So we are going to move to that counseling model for grades 9 and 10 starting this year. So A through L will be with Miss Town, Miss Weber formally, and then M through Z will be with Mr. Williams. Then grades 11 and 12 will remain how they were in our old case model, and that will be grades 11 with Miss Weber, Miss Town,
And Mr. Williams will have grades 12, and then our 7 and 8 will stay with Miss Temple. So we're going to gradually make this happen and start switching over to our caseload, but a successful way to look at counseling and to really improve our communication and our pathways within our district. Do we have any questions? Great.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good evening, everybody. It's great to be on the anticipatory peak of what the 26-27 school year is going to look like. A huge shout out to Buildings and Grounds. They tackled painting the H-wing. So when you guys take a walk of the buildings, if you get a chance to, the same theme that we have out here has been carried down through the H-wing right up to the cafeteria. So it looks fantastic, and they did a wonderful job. We spent this summer really looking at different additions for our students as far as their mods opportunities. We included maker art for our students this year in K and 1. We put ag into the 2nd and 3rd grade. Previously, it was just in the 6th grade. And we reintroduced library mod for 5 and 6. Last year and the year before, when I first started, the library was part of 5 and 6, but the students went on their own through their English class. Now they're going to have a dedicated library media specialist teaching them in a mod period for 40 minutes to get acclimated to the library, and it'll be right up here. We also are going to be including second steps into our mod rotation. Last year, we introduced it as our SEL program with Ms. Smith, and now the teachers will be able to bring the students up to her classroom in a mod rotation as well, so she'll see them K through 5, 1 out of every 6 days. Really what we looked at in the spring when we started formulating these plans and putting them into action was really building on our mission of building curiosity. We need our kids to be exposed to as many things as possible so that they can really pick what interests them as they get older and they grow into their professions. Our BLT worked the last year, bringing back an old tradition of the Bear Traits of the Month. So we're going to be introducing that to our faculty at our first day when we're coming back. BLT did a lot of groundwork on that, more to come on that later, but it also will jump into a little financial literacy with a bear market. The students will be able to purchase some bear spirit themed goods from a cart as we walk through and do the celebrations. Last year, I mentioned in June, we did hit our attendance goal of 93%. So I jumped it up to 94 this year. It's going to be a lofty goal. Last year, we increased by 0.5%, which was great. Now we're shooting for a full percentage mark. We're going to be continuing our celebrations, our attendance, and our focus for that throughout the school year. Any questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, hello everybody. So as I've repeated, Bound is here. JV and varsity sports have started. Modified sports will start on the first day of school. Orange Ulster BOCES in the section provided a couple signs and banners. So we have a sign over at the Ayatorah Sports Complex, one out by our electronic sign out front, and a banner when you first pull in the parking lot off of Moore Hill, and they all have QR codes that will link. We're trying to throw the QR codes around as much as possible. That links you to the app where parents can register right on the app, get all of the events. One thing that we're doing with Bound that we did not do with previous programs is our practice times are on the calendar as well. So if you go to the activities page or the calendar page, if you first initially click on it, you won't see them. It's got a little toggle for include practices, and all of the practice times are listed. So just a great way to, especially preseason, when you're practicing in the morning, midday, whenever it is, if there's quick changes, it's all stuff that you can follow. Just like in our school, you can follow any team you want, get notifications when there's game changes or anything going on. So if you go to the same website, that's what I love about Bound, is everything's in one place. You can sign up for as many or as few notifications as you prefer. Right now, and this number is not accurate because when I made this PowerPoint, we've had quite a few people sign up, especially at the modified level. But last week we had 95 JV varsity registrations, 33 modified registrations. My best guess right now, I was even getting emails on my way down from football practice, but I believe we're up to about 100 JV varsity registrations, which is on par with last year. We're up to about 43 modified registrations. one of the big things with modified sports is the 7th grade locker night, where we have a table set up for athletics. We get a ton of registrations that occur right then and there. One of the nice things with Bound is I have a little bit more access than I did with our school. So there's no, like, fortunately with Arbiter, it was, here's the helpline, sorry. Ms. Kloss has been spectacular with helping families through, but we actually can see where people are at. So as soon as someone starts a registration, we get a notification. We know exactly where they are in the process. So the troubleshooting has been way less, and a lot of problems have been solved a lot faster, which is really, really helpful. So again, football and all their JV varsity sports have started. Football this year, just the way the NISFA calendar fell, we started a week early. Similar thing that happened 2 years ago. And then all modified sports would be starting after school on the first day of school. Any questions?
I have a question, Kev. What are we doing? Obviously, the athletic trainer situation's been murky. I, for one, would love to see us get an athletic trainer back at some point. What are we doing this
So
season?
we do still have Rachel. She's going to have Friday, 10 a.m. office hours, 10 to 12. That we kind of tried to pick what was the most convenient time for the masses. You know, if like football, we go 4 to 6, doesn't mean a football player can't come in from 10 to 12 if they need to. But a majority of the practices are 8 to 10 or 10 to 12. So that window was a really great way to either catch athletes at the end of practice or before. And then once school ramps up, we'll start our normal process that we did last year.
How many checks and balances do we have for our athletes once they start a sport? How much administration do they go through? So you have your athletic director. First, you have your nurse, correct?
Yep.
Then you have your athletic director. Then you have your principal, superintendent, and there should be one more, maybe coach. So you got 5. Do we do that?
So
when a child starts their program in grades, who makes sure they remain eligible?
Okay, so one of the great things with Bound is it actually has an eligibility column now that coaches can see. So there's always been an eligibility list, but now it's right there for coaches to see. So we can show that they are read and eligible. Now that doesn't have to be for grades. It can be medical. So if they come in, they hurt their wrist and the doctor says they have to be out a week, nurses can put in a 1-week timetable and it'll show up red. They're still cleared for the season, but they're not eligible for that time period and it'll automatically go back. You can do academic ones as well. Hopefully we don't have any ejections, but that is an option there because it is a sports program. So with Bound, it makes it a lot, you don't need as many hands on it. It's an easy way to show coaches right away what students can and cannot do.
So my question still is, do you have 10 eyes and 5 people, or you got 1 person, or what do you got?
So
I'm going somewhere with
this. So to remain eligible, I mean, it starts with teachers, coaches, constant communication between those two parties, responsibility on the athletes as well. So it's an all hands on deck type of thing.
But is there a protocol? Is there an absolute protocol that they have to go through? The reason I'm asking is, back years ago, there was a team here that lost their title. They went right to the top and they lost their title. We had these checks and balances in place, 5 people looking at it, including the superintendent. We had a student come in after school, put on his uniform, and go on the football field. Wasn't even taking classes. Lost the title. Had to give it to Mr. Manor.
So
somebody wasn't doing their job.
Yep.
So I would hate to see that ever happen again here.
Yeah, so I think the first line there is in order to even register for any of our sports programs, you have to have your student ID. So if you're homeschooled, you're not a bona fide student, you don't have a student ID, so you can't even register in our program. So that's step one right there. But every roster is reviewed, again, by the coach, by myself, by Ms. Kloss. Everybody goes through it. So not even being able to register is the first step. Anytime a new student comes in and registers, there's an athletic form that gets sent right to me with what their past history is, and that gets sent to Tom Casada at the section to get proper approval.
So you don't have those 5 people named then specifically? Thank you.
We're still missing that trophy, correct?
The night it was supposed to be given back, the night before it was supposed to be given back, the trophy case was broken into and it was stolen. The board at that time, it wasn't the kids that lost the trophy. The kids won it on the field. It was the administration that lost it for them. So the board was adamant about what had to be done. We had to buy another trophy to give to Livingston Manor, to turn that over. But there is supposed to be one here in one of these trophy cases for that team that recognizes their championship, because they're the ones that won it. The administration lost it. So I would not ever like to see that happen here at Tri-Valley. That's why I'm sort of hammering you about this proper protocol.
Absolutely. No,
So forgive me if I'm...
No, there's proper protocol. I didn't understand the question at the time, but no, there's, like I said, you can't even sign up if you're not a student here, because we had to import all of our students into the program in order to even sign up.
You heard me. Thank you.
The trophy's still missing. The saga continues. Thank you, Gov.
Thanks.
It wasn't your team.
I was a freshman that year.
It was Tommy Conjures. And
I don't know who took it, but I certainly have my list of suspects. All right.
All those trophies were inventoried this summer by the student workers, so we can make sure it's there.
if you would, and put it someplace where I can see it.
Right here.
Thank you.
That trophy's missing, right?
No, it better not be.
People know where it is.
We replaced it. The board replaced it.
All right, we can do this here. Okay, next up, we have the superintendent's report.
Thank you, Mr. Diamond. Good evening, President Diamond, Board of Education trustees, and members of the Tri-Valley community. It is a complete honor to offer my first superintendent's report and to begin my work as superintendent of schools for the Tri-Valley Central School District. I want to thank the Board of Education and the Tri-Valley community for the opportunity to lead this outstanding district. Thank you so much. I would also like to express my sincere gratitude to outgoing Superintendent Aaron Long. Aaron's efforts, insights, and generosity with their time and expertise have been invaluable during this transition. I wish Aaron, Steve, and their family a happy, healthy, and joyful retirement. Looking ahead to our work together, I do so with deep respect for the traditions and progress that have brought Tri-Valley to this point, along with genuine enthusiasm for the opportunities and challenges ahead. My commitment is to lead with integrity, listen with intention, communicate clearly, and work collaboratively with the Board of Education as we advance our shared responsibility for student learning, well-being, and future readiness. Over the past several weeks, I've had the pleasure of meeting many members of the Tri-Valley community, including students, families, faculty, staff, and community members at events including our annual Bear Bash, the Grahamsville Little World's Fair, and during building and campus tours. They've been an absolute pleasure. These opportunities have offered a meaningful early glimpse into the pride, connection, and strong sense of community that make Tri-Valley such a special district. I also want to express my deep appreciation and respect for our central office team and building leaders. They've been welcoming, responsive, and focused on ensuring a strong opening to the school year. Thank you, team. I look forward to supporting their ongoing work, including the continued advancement of our professional learning communities and our collective focus on student learning growth and achievement. As we prepare to welcome students back this year, our immediate focus is on safety and successful opening of the school year, clear and timely communications with families, strong support for our faculty and staff, and ensuring that every student feels known, connected, and ready to learn from the first day forward. And I'm confident that will all happen. A primary focus of my early work will be the implementation of my superintendent entry plan. This process is centered upon listening and learning, meeting with board trustees, district and unit leaders, faculty and staff, students, families, and community members. The plan is very much designed to build relationships, understand Tri-Valley's strengths and opportunities, and develop a clear picture of the district's priorities as we move forward together. This work is intentionally iterative, and I will provide regular updates to the board and community as themes emerge and the process develops. At its conclusion, I will share a culminating report and presentation that reflects what I've learned while offering recommendations for next steps. Thank you again for the warm welcome and for the opportunity to serve Tri-Valley. I very much look forward to honoring the district's strengths, listening carefully to our community, and working together to ensure that our students continue to advance with curiosity, resilience, and confidence.
Thank you. Any questions for the board? All right. Thank you, Dr. Lloyd. There we go. Okay, item 6. Any items the board wants pulled from tonight's agenda? Okay.
Warrant 1, page 1, warrant 2, page 1 and page 20.
Hold on. All right. Which one's George?
Warrant 1, page 1.
Warrant 1. Okay. Let's see. Okay.
Warrant 2, page 1 and page 20.
So 8C.
8C and 8D. Let's do it. All right, so we will pull 8C and 8D. All right. So this is going to be a resolution to approve the entire consent agenda minus 8C and 8D. Do I have a motion? Motion by Jerry.
Second.
Second by Travis. Is there any discussion before we vote? Okay, please proceed to vote.
Aye.
Okay, that passed unanimously. Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, the Board of Education does hereby approve the entire consent agenda minus 8C and 8D, which we will discuss now. All right. 8C, warrant 1, Associated Claims Auditors Report. Good, Drew.
The auditor talks about in the last sentence, explain some of that. What is that anyway? I think Jeff probably have to answer that. What is it? Is it everything taken care of there, or is there any issues there still, or specifically what the auditor had to
Right, so
question?
basically in that warrant, she's basically saying what's being paid, so 67 checks out of the general fund, 5 out of the federal fund, so forth and so on, up to the amount, and then the last sentence is any of the observations that she made, and then she puts those on the second page on the spreadsheet.
Well, this is specific I'm talking about. Those items she brought up, are they cleared? Are they all right, or?
Are you referring to the ones on the second page, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're all fine and paid.
We took care of them then?
Everything's taken care of, yeah.
Any further discussion on 8C? Okay. Do I have a motion to move 8C forward?
Motion.
Motion by Rose, do I have a second?
Sure, second.
Second by Travis. And it's going to be a hand vote, so a right hand is a yay. All right. Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, the Board of Education does hereby accept the claims auditor's report and approve payment in the amount of $834,262.69 for warrant 1 dated July 9 of 2026. We are now going to move to 8D, warrant 2, Associated Claims Auditor's Report. Open it for discussion. Mr. Dean.
here it talks about looking into 19 claims. What seems to be the issue?
So when she goes through them, she's going to look to see if something was paid after an invoice was created after, or before a PO was made. If something's missing a receipt, like from the credit card. So anything that the claims auditor picks up on, that's what she's notating. It doesn't necessarily mean something's wrong. It's what she's notating. It's a new auditor. It's not one that we had in the past, so she's doing things a little bit different than the prior auditor did. Some of the things, and I actually have a email out to BOCES because some of the things they're picking up, one instance would be we pay the welfare trust for the TVTA. They create an invoice. We know we have to pay it. It's a contractual item. They create an invoice to provide to the school in June. We can't create a PO until July. So all of a sudden now that's being picked up as a after the fact PO. So I know that that was one that was on that list. So that's some of the things that's being picked up on. They're not necessarily after the fact POs in my book because they're contractual items that we have to pay. We don't have a control if somebody's giving us an invoice prior to the date we can actually do the PO because of the switch over to the new year.
So you actually check out these vouchers when you're submitted then?
So every invoice that comes in, we make sure we have a PO before we pay it. And that's part of the claims audit is they won't pay a PO or an invoice if we don't have a PO for it.
What's ATF? To me, it's
After the fact. So basically, an invoice is created, we get it, and then that would be like, well, we didn't plan for that, so now we have to create a PO to pay for that.
So what's
that's
it stand
considered after the fact. They call it an after the fact PO.
I had to ask, but to me, it's alcohol, tobacco, and firearms.
Yeah, no,
ATF.
that's not what it is.
So I had to ask.
Yep.
So we're good at that then?
Yeah.
Everything's been taken care of?
Yeah, everything's fine.
Okay, page 20. Do we have insurance on our vehicles?
Yes, it's part of our Utica plan.
Well, what's this, page 20?
Safe Light?
Yeah, on a
That's the
windshield replacement.
It's to replace the windshield on the minivan.
So why are we paying for it?
Because we have a deductible that we have to meet. This was lower than our deductible.
$800 for a windshield now? Really?
It actually was more until they found out we were an educational institution. They actually lowered the price. It was higher. I know, like my policy personally, I have full coverage. The school does not have full glass coverage because I looked into it before we paid this.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you.
All right, any further discussion on item D? Motion by Jerry.
Second.
Second by Travis.
Oh, okay.
It's a hand vote. Raise your right hand if you are a yay. Hooray. It looks like we are unanimous.
Yes.
Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, the Board of Education is hereby accept the claims auditor's report and approve payment in the amount of $695,508.98 for warrant 2 dated July 31st of 2026. Okay. We're going to move to old business. Do you have any old business besides the missing trophy from tonight? No old business? Okay. Let's move on to item 12, which is public comment session for items that are not on tonight's agenda. We have none of those either. Item 13, board committee reports. Any board committee reports?
If I could.
Let's hear it.
The policy committee has been formed. We all know who we are. We got to get going on that. you were given the policies that we're going to be looking at the last meeting. It was in that blue folder. So what we're trying to do is have a meeting prior to the next board meeting. We're already in the mode of 5:30. So now our school mode is supposed to be 7 o'clock, correct? It's going to start at 7 now. So now 5:30 we'll go and try to get it done before the board meeting.
Right before the meeting?
Right, same as what we've been doing.
Oh, what's the date of that?
The next meeting is
September 10th,
September 10th.
so 5:30 to 6:45.
So it's myself as chair, Rose, Danielle, and Kayla?
Nicole.
No, and Nicole?
Thank you.
There's 4 of us.
Yeah, Nicole.
Okay, Jerry's off of it.
Right.
Okay. Oh, my. I'm the only, oh, man. I'm in trouble.
Any other board committee reports?
I have nothing, Mr. Diamond.
Thank you. All right, let's move on to new business.
I guess I did.
New business, we have subject A, which is the approval of the tax warrant. This is an action. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Jerry,
Second.
second by Travis. Any discussion? If not, please proceed to vote. It's an electronic vote.
Aye.
Unanimous.
That was unanimous. Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, the Board of Education does hereby accept as presented the following tax warrant for the collection of taxes for the 26-27 school year. All right, let's move on to item B, Superintendent Official Appointments. This is also an action. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by George,
Second.
second by Rose. Any discussion? Please proceed to vote.
Aye.
That passed unanimously. Be it resolved, the board appointed Dr. Joseph Lloyd to the following official positions effective August 27th of 2026. He is the deputy purchasing agent, he's the records appeals officer, and the district hearing officer, and save legislation designated education officer. Okay. Moving us to item C, an appointment of an impartial hearing officer.
Motion.
Motion by Jerry.
Second.
Second by Travis. Have any discussion?
Are you okay with that, Dr. Lloyd?
I am, Mr. Dean. Thank you for asking that question. Per New York State Ed Law 4404, we're certainly following that process appropriately. This is something that we need to do. Our team is working on it diligently as we speak today, but this is something we need to do.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Please proceed to vote.
Aye.
All right, that passed unanimously. Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, the Board of Education does hereby approve the New York State Designated Impartial Hearing Officers, IHOs, for service in the district. Resolved that the board authorizes the Superintendent of Schools to appoint qualified impartial hearing officers on behalf of the board when necessary to ensure appointments are made without delay and in accordance with applicable law and regulations. Moving us to subject D, appointment of impartial hearing officer, Gerwitz. Is an action. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Rose,
Second.
second by Travis. Any discussion?
Is that who you want?
We need to work off a list per New York.
Well, it gives a name here.
Yes, and in consulting with Ms. Cornish, this is who we selected for this particular process. So we're very comfortable with this.
It's one of the names in the list we just approved.
Right.
If there's no further discussion, please.
Oh, you already have a case.
That's correct, sir.
All right,
Good. Proceed to vote.
all right.
Be it resolved, that passed unanimously. Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, the Board of Education does hereby appoint Harriet Gerwitz as the impartial hearing officer for IHRS case number 689287, effective immediately. And be it further resolved that compensation and reimbursement shall be in accordance with Tri-Valley Central School District Policy 4321.8 and applicable law and regulations. Moving us to subject E, approval of handbooks, elementary, secondary, athletic, and substitute. This is an action. Do I have a motion? Motion by Jerry,
Second.
second by Travis. Any discussion?
Does that have to be approved tonight? I received mine, and I'm sure everybody else, but at the same time, and not because of anybody in particular. The reason, it's just that everything's been going on, so it came in late. So I really didn't have a chance to go through all of it the way I like to. Can we put it off till the next meeting?
I don't think we can.
I think the issue, Mr. Dean, is the school's going to start prior to the next meeting, and we'd like that handbook in place for our families to reference during the first and several weeks of school. And consulting with the administrative team, I think there's been some minor updates and to the handbooks. I think we're in very good shape, and I feel comfortable moving this forward.
So if we have a policy that we address in the policy committee, and one of those policies is listed in the handbook, and we change that policy to some degree, is that going to be?
I think we could issue an addendum to the school handbooks that we place into the community.
That's the only thing I'm asking.
Yes, sir. Great question.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Please proceed to vote. That passed unanimously. Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, the Board of Education does hereby approve the elementary, secondary, athletic, and substitute handbooks. Moving us to subject F, scheduling of audit committee meeting. This is an action. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
What's going on here?
Motion by Travis, second by George. Any discussion?
Are enough people here to schedule it?
It's already scheduled.
I was going to say, I want to say it's already been.
Oh, you're just approving.
We're just approving it. It's already out there.
No.
Rose, I thought the same thing. I'm like, but it's already on. All right, if there's no discussion, please proceed to vote.
Aye.
All right, that passed unanimously. Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, the Board of Education does hereby approve the audit committee meeting on October 8th, 2026 at 6 p.m. Wow. So we have subject G, appointment FTE .4 part-time English 2 speakers of other languages teacher Lisa Stewart. Motion. We have a motion by Jerry.
Second.
Second by Travis. Any discussion? Please proceed to vote.
Aye.
Unanimous.
That passed unanimously. I'm going to read the resolution, and then Dr. Lloyd would like to speak. Be it resolved upon the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools that at its August 26, 2026 meeting, the Board of Education approves the appointment of Lisa Stewart to a .4 FTE part-time ENL teacher commencing September 1st, 2026. This appointment is a step 9. As per the current TVTA contract for the 26-27 school year, as per contract, additional salary for master's degree and credit hours will be reviewed for approval. Lisa Stewart currently holds New York State professional certification in the area of English to speakers of other languages effective August 22nd, 2026. Congratulations, Lisa, and I'm going to pass it over to Dr. Lloyd.
Thank you, President Diamond.
Could we have her stand up?
Oh, please, Ms. Stewart, please welcome to the
Introduce
team.
yourself.
Ms. Stewart, we want to thank you for joining us this evening. I know Mr. Snyder, Ms. Eberly, been working diligently to fill this position. It's not easy to find an ESOL teacher. I'm coming from the human resources world, and this is a great hire for the school district. I also want to thank Ms. Bunnell for putting this together so quickly and working with my office. Ms. Stewart, would you like to say a few words to the community this evening?
I wasn't ready to say a few words, but thank you for having me. I'm very excited to come back and for everybody's flexibility in finding a position that can work for me where I can still primarily be home with my children and be doing what I love, teaching English as a second language. So thank you to everybody. And do you have any questions for me?
We're just looking forward to having you.
Excited to have you
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. Come to the Tri-Valley. All right. Excited. Okay, we have item 15 with our shrunk down board here. We have our board comment session. Rose, we'll start with you.
Well, I just wanted to note that it is almost 1 a.m. in Germany, where I just got back from last night, so I am ready for bed. I'm looking forward to a great school year.
Awesome. Thank you, Rose. George?
For the past 4 years, I've been asking to have our maintenance supervisor give some report, at least once a meeting, once a month at least. Other schools do it. We used to do it. I think it's important. If something goes on here that we need to address and all of a sudden it's a surprise, how do you plan for it financially? So, planning a business is very important. And this facility is very important. And we need to keep updated on a lot of things. One thing in the area that I'm thinking of at the moment is, have we looked at our parking lot lately? There's some areas that really need to be addressed before it really goes bad. And blacktop, replacement of blacktop costs more than the covering of it. We can get more life out of it. So that's something that we really need to look at before winter. I'm only one of 9, but you guys are the master, and I would wish you'd look at it. Because there is grass, weeds and stuff growing through some of the blacktop. Doesn't take long to ruin it. So I know it's one of the last things we really look at all the time because we're traveling on it. So it's like traveling on your feet. Your shoes are the last to buy. So, let's, but also I'd like to hear from our maintenance guy. He's a news guy. I think he'd fit real well into it. I think he's into it. And he has a little history here. So, I should give him the respect of finding out what's going on.
I like it.
Mr. Dean, I think it's a great idea. Facilities is certainly a major area of our investment as a school district. Please let me consult with Mr. Frolick and speak with Mr. Van Valkenburg and see how we can put this together.
Now, we recently had an audit, if I may continue. We had an audit, I was told, by the state. Maybe you can report on that?
What, you talking about a financial audit or
Well,
I don't know what audit you're referring to.
it was in their email. I mean, everybody got it, so the board knows what I'm talking about.
I don't know which one what you're referring to.
Well, I would assume there's only one that's been done by the state this lately.
I don't know the state audit.
I'm sorry, I didn't print it out.
We had our financial audit, but we didn't have any.
Well, that's the audit I'm talking about.
Okay, that's not done by the state. That's our external financial auditors.
Well, whoever.
But, so the audit's still ongoing, but pretty much the financial piece is wrapped up. And again, they're not finalized, the numbers, but it looks like we should be at our 4% fund balance this coming year, or this past school year.
The way it looked as if it was encouraging.
No, it is.
Right.
There are a couple one-shot deals in there to get us to that, but it's encouraging.
I think we're on the right course.
Correct.
Lately, I've heard from some public out there, community members. They've been to board meetings. I don't think they realize what the protocol is, because some of them really didn't know. They wanted to speak. I don't know if they signed in or they didn't sign in or they didn't know they had to sign in or what the protocol was, because some of these only come when they have something to say or something that was brought up that night. So somehow is there some way that we can allow people to know a little more about our protocol? I know it's back there, but I don't think people know there's any list back there that they have to speak or anything. So someone was a little discouraged at one meeting. They really wanted to talk, but they didn't know if they could or when. So I know it's a board meeting, not a public meeting, but I think it's good to have the community involved, and that's one way of getting them involved, to appreciate their input.
Maybe next meeting, we do something on public comment. Just saying what it is, and if people are interested in doing it, and any public that are watching, you are more than welcome to come join us and give their comment. We like the feedback.
When we get to that point in our agenda for the public comment, can we ask the audience if anyone has anything that they want to say? Is that an option?
As long as it follows whether it's on the agenda or not on the agenda.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, we can. I mean, most of the time, in most of our meetings, the reality is most of our attendance is by administrators and union heads.
Yeah.
You know, so like George, I encourage it, and I think everybody here does. I love the feedback. I love to hear what the issues are from the community.
They're ones that pay our bills, and we need them. The Bear Bash the names. I hope that we will really make an effort really to send out a thank you to them, because without these supporters, it'd be more difficult. Has it already been done?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Ms. Williams, work with our student workers. Thank you, Ms. Williams, again for doing that on our behalf. And we're very thankful to our sponsors. Thank you.
And generally, before school starts, usually what I was used to, we used to have a walkthrough by the board. So I don't think that's going to happen this time because school starts before the next board meeting, correct? So, I'd like to see it, instead of once a year, I'd like to, I think it's important.
It's something we can figure out for sure.
Yeah. We're quite open to that. Of course. Just don't ask me to tell you where the rooms are yet. It's only my third day in the meeting. I'll need a couple more days, sir.
I did not receive a yearbook yet. I'd like to receive one. Not the coming year, this past year, school year.
There's 2 yearbooks that I'm aware of, elementary and secondary. You're asking for both, or one of the two?
I'd like to have both.
Mr. Dean, our yearbook advisor's here, she hears you.
Pardon?
The yearbook advisor's here, she hears you.
No, she's not the advisor this year.
Last year.
She was not the advisor last year. Oh, you were? Oh, well, good.
Are we supposed to hear?
Look at that, firsthand.
Mrs. Stryker orders 10 yearbooks, and then they're distributed to the different offices. So there's some over in the central office, they're in the principal's office, they're in the library, they're representing the Pierce Library. So they are around.
I mean, if the issue is finance, I'll pay for it. Look, I don't mind. If that's what needs to be done, I'll pay for it. I just would like to have them. I'd like to see all the kids in this district.
Do we have any more yearbooks that can be purchased, or no? Are they all out?
They're all out. I think you can go on and order after the fact, if they're ready to you. And I don't know if there's any extra around, I can look and see it.
I have a small stack of extras, like for anybody at work.
I don't want to take them from the archives of the school. I think it's important to have them in the school. So forgive me if that,
Secondary school, I mean, they are distributed in the community, so you could borrow, but if you want to keep one, I would suggest ordering online, just because they're just formatted differently up there.
well, I'm on a run here, an up-to-date law book. I know they're quite expensive, but I'd like to have an up-to-date one. And did the new board members get,
Yeah,
they did get them? You got last year's or this year's?
this year and Robert's rule.
Okay. I'd like to have this year. Thank you.
Thanks, George. Travis, anything that you'd like to add?
I did, but I'm not going to say much. I just want to say welcome. Thank you, sir. Great having you here. Staff, administrators, summer's over. Get back to school. Hey, seriously, welcome to another year, 26, 27. That's it. That's all I have. Oh, wait, one more thing. I know football season is starting. I know George has kicked it around quite a few times about the football lights at our sports complex. Just, I know you're new here. We just want to put it in your ears. Just maybe in the future, we can talk about things and see what we can try to do to have some lights on our sports complex across the street. Definitely something that needs to happen.
That's been discussed since I was like 14.
Yeah.
Probably before, Tim, probably before that.
Prior to that photo, yes.
Like when lights were made, we probably had lights on that field. And we still have made zero progress as every district around us is like lighting it up, the AstroTurf, all the craziness. We're still rolling in the same goose poop that we did after the block.
In the dark. But we did have generators at one time, or light towers.
They did temporary lights for a game a few years back with the generators. And
carbon monoxide.
kids are breathing the smoke.
And, it was a mess. So, yes, just in the future, maybe we can try to.
Yeah, I think collectively, there's a lot of us that are interested in that, and just this school, especially in a small community, it's the center of our community. So the more we can get out of that facility, the better. So, do you have anything else?
That's it. Thank you.
Jerry.
Welcome aboard, Dr. Lloyd. Thank you to the cross-country coaches and cross-country athletes for the presentation, and thank you to the administrators for all your presentations.
I like that, Jerry.
Okay, that's good.
Thank you.
So we have two dates to remember. We have the meet the new employees at the Daniel Pierce Library. What's that date? The 1st?
That'll be next.
And we have something going on here, meet the
Wednesday.
So that's the 2nd?
Yes.
So it's the 1st and 2nd. And what time is 2nd? What time are you going to do that?
Breakfast 7:45.
What time are you speaking?
Thank you, Mr. Snyder.
What time are you speaking?
After steak and eggs. I don't know. Do we know what time our schedules? We're starting at 8:20?
They're going to start by 8:15, 8:20, then
Okay.
breakfast, and then there's about 45 minutes for you guys to speak.
Okay, awesome. So a couple things, real quick. Dr. Lloyd, we are super pumped that you were here, and I think you're going to do great things. Erin carried the torch and ran the flag forward for years, and now I think you're going to do the same. And I think there's a pretty strong team in place, which always helps with leadership transition. And so, thank you, and you're welcome to be here, and we're going to do great things. Second thing is Sullivan 180. I attended a presentation last week. Chef Ann, who is like this nationally renowned school lunch specialist, that she put on a thing with Sullivan 180 at Center for Discovery. Obviously, Sullivan 180 is led by Sandra Gary. This is a very important project to their family. And the whole presentation was about healthier lunches and a lot of scratch cooking in the schools. So the concept of scratch cooking, they would like to see scratch cooking for all meals in the schools for every student, right? And I'm just sitting in the audience like, there's no way that'll ever happen, right? And then she started naming areas that have done it, areas that are a bit more affluent than we are. But the thing that's promising about this scratch cooking Sullivan 180 kind of movement is there is significant finance behind it, right? And it is a priority to people that want to make this better. And they talked about small improvements, right? Not just going full boat, because obviously the numbers are huge. But our salad bar, is our salad bar up and running? Like, was that up and running last year?
Yeah.
It is.
So we started that at the end of, not even mid-year, it got started. We did a lot of work around that cafeteria and starting those pieces. We have protein smoothies now, we have a community maker, we're starting that process of it.
Excellent.
Salad bar from Sullivan 180 focus connected.
That's awesome. Yeah, this conversation, it was outstanding. Like, the points that were made on like how the crappy food leads to crappy behavior, and just the whole meltdown of like what the kids are actually eating in a lot of schools. There's districts that everything is served from a box or bag. So pretty interesting stuff. One of the things that the lady that ran it, Chef Ann, said was, if you can make one move in your district, it would be to put your recess before lunch. I don't know anything about that, and I don't know what that means to you guys. But she was like, this one is a change that can be made. So you weren't at the Chef Ann presentation? I was. That's what she said is a very important thing. And I would encourage, and this is something that we may have talked about, Jeff, but money is going out. Like this is a priority. Let's try to take advantage of that as best we can, and try to offset some of the costs of the district and make things better for our kids. So.
If I may, before you go, I'm not much in the kitchen. What exactly is the terminology scratch cooking?
Making it from scratch. So they want, George, they showed a whole presentation on vegetables coming in from local farmers, meat product coming in from local farmers, and they talked about the kitchen staff being trained to now chef by local culinary experts. And they showed two pretty large areas, like I said, Berkeley and I think Boulder. They talked about how they have done this like in a massive way. Rockland Central School District is all over it. To tell you who was in the room, there's the food coordinators from like multiple districts in Sullivan County. There's a couple superintendents, different personnel from all over it. So people are invested, and it's becoming a more important topic. And I think locally we have a very, very strong Sullivan 180 that wants to support it. So let's run with it if we can. That would be my wish.
So it's what we used to have here, a full cooking kitchen then?
Full cooking kitchen. They're going to make
when
the
you
food.
were in school, when I was in school.
Yep.
Hey.
It's a big mountain, but it's a great concept, and I think there'd be a lot of buy-in in the district. So
The biggest reason they went to, so I was told, went to what they did, the contract, was because it was always in the red, was the reason the board went to something different. To me, what better place to be in the red? To have our kids to have healthy foods and have the right nutrition. What better place to be in the red?
And Rockland's head of food services said that they would be more than willing to help. I guess they're kind of leading the charge locally in this. So, just something we can look into and try to make better for the kids. And then, so sports physicals, Mr. Cadelli and I have talked about this. Again, we started our fall sports, and we still have kids that don't have physicals or starting a week late. Their parents can't get them into a doctor. And Dr. Lloyd, this is something we talked about last meeting with Ms. Long, that if there was any way next summer, if we could do a day like kind of we do in the spring where our physician comes in, and maybe some of our kids that have a harder time getting to a doctor could come in for a sports physical, so they're not missing that first week. Because in our experiences, these kids that miss that first portion, it's a little harder to get them to hang on. They miss the first couple games, they lose interest, and oftentimes these are kids we want engaged in sports and we want them to stay busy.
Don't we provide a doctor here?
We do in the spring. Is that, Kevin, you want to speak to that? Is that?
Yeah, I mean, we do in the spring, option. The problem is where it falls in timeline. So if you're not up in the spring, but you're up, July 1, that's when that miss usually happens. So just really how each individual student's, when that date of expiration is for their physical. So it helps some, but it doesn't get everybody. And it's not a date that will ever get everybody.
and also how to do with the insurance, because a parent can't take a student to that physical 2 times within 1 year. And that's the only thing.
Say that again?
Based on insurance, parents' insurance, you cannot take your child to get their physical twice in 1 year. So like Kevin said, if a student's physical, if they did it over the summer, they can't go get it done, they can get it done they can't get it done in the spring until around that time. Because their insurance don't pick it up.
Yeah, but if we're providing a doctor, they don't pay for it, correct? If we provide a doctor here at school, they don't pay for it, right? We pay for the doctor.
You have a lot of breakdown, what I found years coaching, from the student telling their parents. You have a big breakdown in that sometimes in the spring.
Well, I think what ends up happening is, in the parents' mind, like, they're good, they have their physical, they don't need it until this date, so no one, it doesn't click that, oh, I should get it anyway because it's gonna make me good for the fall. Like, in a parent's mind, oh, they have their physical, it's not expiring until this date, so they don't get really extra physical.
Yeah. It's just something we can do better as a district, and it's something that we, like I said, a lot of these kids, we don't want to lose them to, I'm just not going to play. Like, I can't, those are kids that we should have on the field, so.
There's more than you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
For sure. All right. Do I have, so that'll be a wrap on the open meeting. We'd like to go to executive session to discuss details of the medical, financial, credit, or employment history of a particular person or corporation. Do I have a motion for that? Motion by Jerry. Second by Travis. So everyone in the room knows we are going to wind up wrapping after that, so don't waste your night sitting here. Okay, please proceed to vote.
Where are we having it, upstairs?
Oh, I suppose.
All right, be it resolved that the Board of Education voted to enter executive session at 7:11 PM for the purpose of discussing the details regarding the medical, financial, credit, or employment history of a particular person or corporation, matters landing to the appointment, employment, promotion, demotion, discipline, suspension, dismissal, or removal of a particular person or corporation. All right, we are in executive session. Thank you guys all for coming.
Have a good night.